Do you think you know everything about FNAF lore? What if everything we thought we knew about William Afton, the missing children, the animatronics, is completely wrong? Feel free to put your own FNAF theories in the comments down below, because we're diving into debunked fan theories. So a lot of people get confused because some of the theories are confirmed and some of them aren't. And it's very hard to figure out which ones are and which ones aren't. So today we're going to dive into the confusion and how some people might get confused about FNAF theories. So first, let's start off with identifying what a FNAF theory is. It's basically a timeline of the story or games that may or may not be accurate, and is based off of in-game events or out-of-game source. Some of them are not true, while others have been proven correct. So without further ado, let's dive into the first theory, which is Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy are previous Springlock victims? This theory is convincing, but not accurate. Let me explain. The Shadow animatronics appear in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which is set before the events would lead to William Afton's Springlock failure. At this point, the Spring suits, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, are still in use and not involved in any Springlock failures that may have created the Shadows. So therefore, it would not make sense for the Shadows to be Springlock victims in the first place, because it would have to take place before William Afton was trapped in one. So there, theory debunked. But there is another theory on the Shadow animatronics. They may make a little bit more sense to you. Let me show you. You see, the Shadows are often described as representations of agony or negative thoughts rather than direct spirits or victims who possess suits. Freddy appearing in the FNAF 4 minigames also suggests that he could be an embodiment of negative emotions of the Bite of 83. Another variation of the agony theory is the Shadows are a form of agony that is tied to the suits themselves or the location of where the Springlock failures occurred. But for that theory, it is debunked. We know that it is not true now. So without further ado, let's go on to the second theory. The second theory, my personal favorite theory that I actually did believe for a while, it's called Dream Theory. This theory proposed by MatPat. He claims the events of the 4 games were nightmares, dreams experienced by the crying child after the Bite of 83. So here are the core beliefs of the Dream Theory. The events of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 are real. The crying child is in a coma after being bit by Golden Fredbear. But the first 3 games are dreams from the child's nightmares after the Bite of 87, and the dreams remain manifested by his fear of the animatronics. The animatronics are not real. They were either misunderstood toys or a rejected object imagined to be a monster. These imaginary threats are actually possessed entities, but hallucinations from a scared child's mind. Misinterpretation of the story can consist of the concept of children being stuffed into suits. It was an exaggeration of when the crying child saw someone put on a mascot suit. The reason this story is debunked because Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, stated that Dream Theory was not the original intent of the story. So that is the only reason why, or everyone would still believe the Dream Theory, but it has been proven incorrect. And last but not least, the third and final FNAF theory we'll be doing is Jeremy is the original Bite of 87 victim. Now, the incident is when Mangle bit the frontal lobe off of a security guard because of a rotary or piston malfunction, and it was commissioned and used for spare parts. The events of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 may have occurred before the Bite of 87, especially if Jeremy's final day shift happened on night 7. You know, people may get confused with the Bite of 83. The Bite of 83 is when FNAF 4 Crying Child was the victim of a bite from the Golden Fredbear animatronic in Fredbear's family diner, where it removed the entire top of his head, which the injuries are way more catastrophic than the Bite of 87's victim, therefore making the incident separate. Well, it might be true that the phone guy mentioned switching Jeremy to the day shift for a final birthday party, but the primary argument against this theory is that the bite happened to Jerry during this party, not because of Jeremy, with Jeremy ultimately taking the day shift for this party. There are many reasons to think that the bite was a result of Jeremy Fitzgerald tinkering or getting attacked by Mangle during this event. This theory was debunked by using timelines, evidence from the actual game. Sadly, I was not able to find any information on why this has been debunked, but I know that it has. So, just a quick recap. We have gone over Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie can't be Springlock victims and are actually, or may actually be, manifestations of pain and suffering that William Afton caused. And we've gone over the dream theory, which wouldn't work because of real life events and things that can't be put in a dream. And we've gone over why Jeremy Fitzgerald cannot be the victim of the bite of 87. If you like this, if you have any feedback or if you want to add anything, if I got some stuff wrong, let me know in the comments. Don't be shy. Hit me with it. I can take it. I'm a big man. And as always, you have an amazing day. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notification bells, and to never miss another video. And I will see y'all in the next theory.